Brothers and sorors, dear friends, welcome to the Wednesday Department of Instruction teleconference. My name is James Bording, and I am so glad to be here with all of you. Today, we are going to explore the history, geology, and alchemy of the California coast so that we can better understand this wild place of transformation, the forces that created it, and hopefully learn how to bring these forces of transformation into ourselves to experience harmony and balance. So, to begin, I would love to go for a walk on the beach with all of you in Carmel, California. If you'd give me one moment. Here we are at Monastery Beach in Carmel by the Sea, California. We're actually standing just a few miles south of where the first Rosicrucians arrived in California. These brave Rosicrucians arrived here in the Carmel River Valley in 1602 as part of the Vizcaíno expedition. In the late 1500s, Spain needed new outposts to protect their Manila galleons. So they sent an expedition to better map the region. On this trip were actually several Carmelite monks who set out to establish the Carmelite order in what would become California. The Carmelites have deep roots in the Rosicrucian tradition, being connected to the Essenes tradition. This outpost was to be the first foundation of Rosicrucian thought in North America, predating the community in Philadelphia, founded in 1694. Drawing from the Essene traditions of piety, purity, community, and healing, famous Carmelites included luminaries such as St. John of the Cross and St. Teresa of Avila. H. Spencer Lewis decided that Carmel and nearby San Jose were the ideal places to set up the Supreme Grand Lodge due to its proximity to this founding place. There is actually a fascinating article about the Carmelites of California in the 2007 Rosicrucian Digest by Richard A. Schultz, PhD, FRC. Here is an excerpt from this article about H. Spencer Lewis's decision to found the order in Santa Clara. Former Imperator Ralph M. Lewis wrote about this topic in his biography of his father. There was still another factor, a romantic one, which weighed heavily in the decision to make the move of the order's headquarters from New York to San Francisco. In the 17th century, the first Europeans explored the Pacific coast of California. There were Rosicrucians among their number. In Carmel, near Monterey, California, not far from the still existing mission of the Spanish Padres, was built the first Rosicrucian temple of Alden in America. There was then strong appeal to rebuild the seat of the order in that traditional area, California. H. Spencer Lewis relates, San Francisco was not our objective, but California was. The Temple of Alden had been built by the first visitors to the Pacific coast, who built many permanent foundations. The Valley of Carmel was the first Rosicrucian settlement on the Pacific coast. Carmel was named after Mount Carmel in Palestine, where the Rosicrucian and Essene settlement existed for so long. The question becomes, what makes this place so special? A place that is so full of the capacity to transform the whole world. As the Emerald Tablet of Hermes, the foundational alchemical text states, that which is above is like that which is below, and that which is below is like that which is above. A place of great spiritual transformation a place to reestablish Rosicrucianism in America, must necessarily be a place of great physical, geological transformation. Hollywood, Silicon Valley, great social change movements. California is a place of change. California has been formed over the last 100 million years from the dissolution of an entire continental plate. Volcanism, massive earthquakes, erosion from Pacific storms, and the endless crashing of waves on the coast has transmuted this beautiful place into a place of harmony and natural beauty it is today. I would like to quickly explore the geologic history of California, the alchemical forces that shape this place, so that we can better understand how these forces shape us and our great transformation. Here we see a map of the world, and what these colored blotches are actually tectonic plates. The Earth's crust is made up of these beautiful plates that are actually floating on the liquid of Earth's mantle. These are massive, massive pieces of rock that float ever so delicately over millions and millions of years. And what geology has discovered is that the interactions of these plates is what has defined the geology of our Earth. And understanding the plate tectonics of a region can help us better understand how that place was formed. So if we look here, we can see, if you can see my mouse, you can see where we are in Western North America. And that is the Pacific plate rubbing against it. These little blue plates here and here are actually the remnants of an entire plate that has been subducted underneath the North American plate. I can show you here. It's actually called the Farallon plate. And it was instrumental in the formation of North America's geology, and especially California. Oceanic plates are generally made of basalt, a heavier stone. I mean, it's incredible to imagine the North American plate being lightweight, right? So as this lighter weight North American continent and this heavier Farallon plate collided, that plate was subducted and forced into the Earth's mantle. You can see this accretionary wedge forming here where it scraped the sea floor into mountains that form the coastal ranges. But as that dense plate was subducted, you can see that the waters that were dissolved inside of it became superheated. So hot that they actually would dissolve many different types of minerals and even metals. And so these would bubble up, form magma chambers, and erupt as volcanoes, forming the Sierra Nevada mountains. This process continued for millions of years: subduction, a formation of accretionary wedge, volcanism, and erosion in this massive cycle of rock and earth. I can actually show you a short video of it here. We can see that subduction zone, the rising of those magmas, an eruption of volcano. Imagine the rainstorms washing those minerals and rocks out to sea and then being subducted again and again. And if you've studied alchemy, this looks extremely familiar. This fermentation, distillation, and coagulation of all of these different pieces could result in some place like this. This is Half Dome of Yosemite. And remember those little magma chambers? This is actually a magma chamber that solidified, and the mountain that was on top of it has eroded over time. It's incredible to imagine that this beautiful mountain peak was just the belly of an ancient volcano. And so, in addition to that, in this distillation process, metals will actually be distilled. And through this process again and again, we actually find that heavier metals will sink lower and lighter and purer metals will rise higher and higher in the rock until you have veins of lead or iron and even veins of gold. And so, as part of this alchemical process, California has massive gold veins because an entire continental shelf was distilled into just its purest elements. But this is not the end of California's geology because as this giant plate has been subducted, another process took its place. As the Pacific plate now scrapes across the face of California, dragging the entire coastline north as the North American plate heads south. These forces have ripped and changed and shifted this place so that the geology is just amalgamated again and again. Where we're going to be exploring today, here on the edge of the Monterey Bay, we actually have stone that has been dragged over millions of years, about 30 million years, all the way north from Southern California. Eventually, the Pacific plate will capture most of California, drag it away from North America, and it'll become an island like Madagascar. But we don't have to worry about that for this moment. We occasionally do have to worry about earthquakes as these slip and slide against each other along the San Andreas Fault. So what I would love to do now is explore a walking meditation around one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Point Lobos, California. Because this place is where these rocks that have been transformed in volcanoes and now have been moved north by tectonic activity, create a place of such variety that we find an unspeakably beautiful coastline. And so in that place, I would like to go for a walk with all of you. The last piece I'd love to show you is how we can see right here. Those red rocks are actually, what we're going to see today, are actually the same red rocks that make Yosemite National Park. We have Half Dome on the coastline. So if you'd like, I'm going to change now. Sit comfortably in your chair. And take 3 deep breaths, becoming more relaxed with each breath. Alchemy is the art of transformation and purification. Alchemists seek to purify a thing to its most complete and holy essence. This includes medicine, metals, and themselves. California is the perfect place for alchemy. The macrocosmic and microcosmic forces that transmute and change the world are especially active in this place and others like it. These exact same forces are active in you. Alchemists use their understanding of these forces to transform themselves. This world is changing due to the unchanging forces of the natural world. They are constant and found everywhere in the universe. To begin our walk on this beautiful coast, I'd love to read you a poem titled The Temple of Alden by Royal Thurston, which was a pen name of H. Spencer Lewis. The coastline ranges far, the skies unfold, The mountains rise in glory, stair on stair. The setting sun sheds gold rays as of old. In thickets dark where roses bloom most fair, the ancient sea, deep wrinkled, ever young, with salt lip kisses still the silver sand. In ruined temple dwells the master with silent tongue, and alchemists with strange fire shake the land. Alchemy is the art of transformation, and I invite all of you to practice this art with me today. Let's begin by exploring the element of earth. In alchemy, earth is the element of the material world. It is the divine made manifest. Feel yourself rise up these stairs, with each step rising higher and higher, away from the purely material, and feeling how this material element interacts with the spiritual planes. This fecundity of spring, of wildflowers and ferns, allow yourself to be connected to this Mother Earth, this solid connection that we have. Feel your body connect to the earth where you are. Relish the sensation of being. Enjoy knowing that truly wild places like this are thriving and growing as we speak. Feel the element of earth. Now, feel how this ground is not static. It is mutable, capable of great transformation. Even the hardest granite can be slowly ground into a silky beach with patience and persistence. The continents and tectonic plates that we think of as rock solid can be melted like butter on an iron skillet when allowed to visit the interior of the earth. Let the parts of you that are earth, the parts of you that are most resistant to change, be subducted. Let them be allowed to visit the interior earth, and as they warm, feel them dissolve. Feel how the earth yields to heat, how it bends so easily with time. Imagine a part of yourself dissolving into soft sand through the action of gentle waves. Now, let's walk through Monterey pines. These are common in California, but very, very rare in their original habitat. These are trees that have ridden the coast of California north for millions of years, evolving as they traveled. And through this process, becoming exquisitely adapted to this place. Feel what it would feel like to have your roots deep in the earth, to ride a shifting fault line for 30 million years, to become so connected to a place for a million generations that you are unique, that you understand this place in a way that no one else can because you have become this place. That is what it feels like to feel the earth element in your body. Now, let's explore the element of water. Feel its passivity. Feel its fluidity. Feel how the cliffs and shorelines give it shape. Feel how your earth elements, your material self, shapes the water in your body. Feel how your liquid takes the shape of you. Every minute of the day, you are a coastline as your body's water washes against every cell. Feel how these waters do not cut, but they dissolve even the hardest, most resolute parts of us. Do not resist this process. Accept it. Stone will become sand. Sand will become dust. Dust will be dissolved. As this process continues, where the resistant parts of us are dissolved, the inner parts of us will become more and more exposed to the light. A mountain dissolved by the rain. A hidden cave appears where there was once a solid wall. Feel these kelp forests below, the waters anchoring them to the hard granite with their holdfasts. Here we have an underwater ecosystem unlike anywhere on Earth, and feel how they act as a nursery for so many organisms. In a sheltered cove, the water element crashing, the surf is made passive and sweet. We associate the water element with the mother and with the feminine. And here at Point Lobos, the harbor seals have chosen this cove, made soft and safe, to use these elements as a nursery. Feel in yourself how the crashing and hardness has given way to the tenderness and innocence as earth and water interact, as the hard edges become smooth. Feel the love of the mother envelop you. Send your love to these newborns. Send your love to all of the innocents in the world. All those learning to swim, learning to crawl. May they find the love of the mother in a sheltered cove. May they learn to swim, to catch fish, to warm on a sunny patch of sand. So mote it be. And in this process of transformation, we might occasionally consider turning back and giving up on our journey of transformation. Change is hard. But in this moment, we find that this divine love inspires us to continue, to move forward on our quest to understand all of the elements. And now, as we walk past Monterey Cypress and the beautiful coastal scrub, we find ourselves seeing the effects of water on Earth, how life flourishes and grows at this interface point. Now, just sit and feel that interface of earth and water in yourself. The love and transformation that happens naturally if you allow it. Allow yourself to harmonize with earth and water so that you may transform. Feel the mist and rain rejuvenating this place. Smell the salty air, the sagebrush in the wind, the smell the rain gives the air, the sound it makes as it flows through the groves of trees. We ask, how is it that these waves crash on our shores? What animates these waters? Take a deep breath and feel yourself become rejuvenated and more at peace with each breath. Smell the scent of wildflowers on the wind. Now feel a new element rise and drift in your body. Feel the air element fill your lungs. You see the earth below and the skies above. Breathe slowly and deeply as we explore the air element. Mystics of all ages have known that air was more than just oxygen. The thing we breathe in that is so important is also known as prana, as chi, as pneuma. The Rosicrucians call it the vital life force, and it enters our lungs with every breath, energizing and rejuvenating each and every one of us. Feel that deep, profound gratitude for the air. The air element is one of spirit, of inspiration. Air is an active element, blowing across the waters, creating the waves that wash across the shores. But as it is active, it is also passive and flows and moves, rustling and being shaped by the trees. The Pacific winds of California blow a warm, wet air from the middle of the ocean near Hawaii on an atmospheric river system called the Pineapple Express. This water brings and nourishes the flowers of California. In Alchemy, the Emerald Tablet states that the wind carries this thing in its belly, the one thing in its belly. These storms bring the vital water that rejuvenates this coast each fall after our hot, dry Mediterranean summers. This spirit of air brings the seabirds that breed in rookeries like Bird Island ahead by the thousands. On a giant piece of an ancient volcano moved inches per year over millions of years, these creatures of the air find shelter. And in the cold waters of California coast, dissolve and hold so much oxygen that this coast is one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. These fertile waters here at Point Lobos are one of the first marine sanctuaries on Earth. These are sacred waters, made fertile by the vital life force of air, blending and mixing into the water, the upwelling of deep, cold ocean water, resulting in a habitat worthy of baby harbor seals. Now feel this air. interacting and harmonizing with the water and the earth in your body. And as you feel the three elements become harmonized, feel yourself incorporate a feeling of heat, of warmth, of power and life. This place is shaped by the heat of volcanoes, but the animating force of fire comes now from the sun. Feel that animating warmth deep in every cell of your body. That is what animates us. Fire. And as you feel that warmth unite with the cold and blend the warmth with the coolness, the moist of the ocean with the dry of the air, as opposites become harmonized, feel all four of these elements unite. The power of fire and air uniting with the power of water and earth. Masculine and feminine elements united. This is harmony, true harmony, peace, serenity, balance fills every cell in your body. The celestial fire, the divine fire blows through you. Walk in this place of sun and wind, of wildflowers and waves. There is no need to think. You simply are. You are being transformed as we speak. You are a seaside daisy. You are the egg of a cormorant, lovingly tended on a rock. You are the crashing waves. You are the whistling wind. You are the fog and the mists and the rain. You are a sunbeam. You are a volcano. You are the harmony of all the elements. Feel these elements harmonize inside of you on all levels. Feel them come into perfect unity. And with this harmony, you become birdsong. You are an ecstatic sparrow's song. You are a field of California poppies. You are the crunch of gravel. You are the bending boughs of a pine. You are the sage. You are a wall of stone. You are everything and nothing. Because the truth of this harmony is that you are not a single note. You are a symphony. You are every trumpet and tuba and timpani. You are change. You are growth. You are the gradual perfection and evolution of consciousness everywhere. Feel the beauty and harmony of that transformational process. Realize, feel deep inside that you are as definable as the water's edge on a perfect beach. With each wash of the waves, every grain of sand that is you is shifted, moved, changed. The coast is not a place. It is an idea. It is pure transformation. Look at this beach and tell me, where does the water meet the earth? The harmony of elements is a harmonization to the endless change of the natural world. To live well is to dance to the symphony that is you. Trust that with this change, you are being perfected. You are being transmuted. You are the greatest project of the supreme architect of the universe. Now cross this bridge of return and feel yourself rejuvenated on every level. You are harmonized of earth and water and air and fire. Walk with a peace in your heart that comes from the unity of the four elements. The forces that have shaped this place are the exact same forces that shape you. Now, in this moment, and with these feelings of peace, acknowledge the slightest sensation of yet another element, one far more subtle than you've ever experienced. It feels like the cosmic overtone of purest harmony, the quintessence appears to you, the cosmic ether, the most pure element, uniting all four elements into one. And as you feel this quintessence fill your whole body, spirit and soul, you realize that this element is everywhere, always. The fabric of reality, but it is invisible to those who have not attuned so they can hear the music of the divine symphony. Feel this love, feel your whole being. Feel it fill the hearts and minds of all beings, for we are one. And now, in this cove of perfect peace, feel yourself harmonize to all that is, all that will ever be. Feel the rise of mountains, and then feel them turn and dissolve into sand in a heartbeat. Feel a million years tick by, and feel the peace profound of the joy of being alive and the deepest, most ardent love of the divine. May you be the calm of a sheltered cove. May you be the waves and the wind that shape this world into a place of transcendent beauty. May your words and thoughts be birdsong. And may the light of the sun illuminate your path. And may your heart and soul live in perfect unity with constant change and the eternally constant elements of earth, water, air, and fire in perfect divine harmony. I invite you to meditate on these elements and this place of transformation, to harmonize to the wild alchemical coast of California for as long as you like. I wish you all peace Profound.